Hey guys, so this is recording too. I keep trying to record this video and bleh. Alright, so basically this isn't a video where I'm going to explain all the products that you need to dye your hair the way that I did, or at least what I used in my video, as well as give you some tips for what to expect when you're dyeing your hair and things that can make the process smoother for you. So first let me actually show you my hair now that I have a little bit of good lighting and sunlight, okay? You can see a lot more of the purple tint this time than you could in my update video. So, yeah, so let's get started. The first thing you need, of course, is the actual color. And this is the brand I use. It's the Loreal Technique High Color. And the color is actually True Violet. But the key thing is right here, it says violets. It's part of the line that's for dark hair only. This was actually recommended to me by the girls who worked in Sally's, which is pretty cool. And you know, a couple of them had actually even used this on their own hair. So I was like, okay, you know, let me give this a try. It's for dark hair. Worst case, it just won't show up that well. Whatever. But to show you when you open it, hold on, I think I have one in here. Oh my gosh, where is it? Alright, maybe it's in here. Yeah, so this is what it looks like when you open it. Obviously it won't be this well used, but this is what the little container or the little thing looks like, and it has a little tube that you have to pop open, okay? Now, the key thing is with this is you don't just apply this directly to the hair. You're gonna put this in a container. I highly recommend getting just one of the mixing bowls they have. It doesn't stain and it's easily reusable, you know, quick, easy to carry. So yeah, I just got one of these also from Sally's. Definitely get you a pair of these black gloves. They are washable and reusable, so that was pretty neat. I've used them both times I dyed my hair. Okay, one of these for application, because you can literally paint it onto your locks, as well as use it to mix up everything. So, you know, once you got your gloves on, once you got your hair separated with clips or ponytail holders, you know, you're gonna pour the actual dye into here. Then go by whatever box you use, the instructions, how much developer it says. So mine said use 2.5 fluid ounces of developer per box, okay? So that's why I have this little guy that you saw in the other video. 2.5 is about that much on this container. So I basically took the developer, which is this brand, poured it in here to 2.5, and then combined it into the giant mixing bowl, okay? Per box, right? So I think when I first started, I did 2 boxes, just at the beginning of the process. Now the key thing to remember, at least for me, if some of your hair is already processed, I would, at least this is what I recommend and it worked for my hair, is use different levels of developer, right? So personally, the bottoms of my hair were already brown and already highly developed and light. So I went ahead and just used the 20 volume, right? It's not as strong, and so I would preferably do less damage to the hair that was already processed, okay? I don't have the bottle right here with me, but the other one I use is the 30 volume, and that's what I use on the upper parts, closer to the root of my hair where it was darker. It was basically almost black and unprocessed. So that's what worked for me. I would definitely, if your hair is already processed, you know, if you already have a relaxer, if you already have colored it multiple times, I would not go more than 20, but it is your personal preference, as well as this whole process, really. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, so this was all based on my own experience, talking to my friends and family who are licensed, talking to people in Sally's, doing my own research, so little word of warning. Okay. Mix all that together, and then I essentially just dip this in there and just literally would paint it on my locks. Now, hubby was using this, so I honestly just used the gloves and just applied it, which you can see in the video. I'll make sure to put the link if you haven't watched that already. So basically, I just did that all over my head. Now, key things. So a few tips that will make your process a lot smoother than mine, because I ended up dyeing my hair twice. This is actually results of the second time. The first time was like way back in, I think it was right after my 2-year lock anniversary. So right like end of September-ish, beginning of October. And the second time I dyed it was like late December. So there was about a 2-month span between me dyeing it. But the reason I went ahead and dyed it again was because the first time it showed up, but not as purple as I wanted, as well as it didn't last as long. And one of the key points, which is kind of tied into the tips that I want to use for you guys, is to make sure that you leave it in long enough. I was like, oh my gosh, it's been in like an hour and 15 minutes, but I was including the processing time, which that's not going to lead to equal application of everything being the same tone and dark, and leaving it in long enough for your locks to really take it in for each strand. So yeah, so definitely leave it in. The second time around, in which like it's definitely like a lot more plumb and lasting now, would be I think I left it in like an hour and a half post application, and for me that worked well. I didn't notice any damage, nor have I noticed any of my locks breaking, so that's cool. So yeah, tip number 1, leave it in long enough. Tip 2, make sure that your hair is not freshly retwisted when you do this, okay? I don't personally go all the way to the root for most of my hair anyway. However, the key thing being that if you do it on freshly retwisted hair, when you wash it, you know, all of a sudden your hair is unraveling and there's going to be spots on the inside that were not properly colored. So you're going to end up with spottiness near your roots, and that's just not cute. So make sure that it's on, like, maybe if it's close to your wash day or close to the time for you to retwist, go ahead and apply it then. Another thing being, like, don't have a whole lot of product in your hair before you do this. If I knew that I was going to color my hair, I would, about a week to a week and a half before, go ahead and wash my hair thoroughly, and really don't apply a whole lot of product. Like if you're somebody who's using a whole bunch of leave-in conditioners or creamy products or a ton of oils, don't do all that. You know, yes, your hair might feel slightly dry, you know, maybe apply a light oil or something, but that's it. Don't coat your hair, because that's going to make it even more hard for the color to penetrate. I'm not saying you can't do a deep conditioning treatment to prep your hair, but just don't have a lot of leftover residue, okay? Because that's just not going to help the process, okay? So make sure your hair's clean, leave it in long enough, make sure your hair's not freshly retwisted. And I think the last tip I have is just make sure you have enough color, okay? Because the first time, I bought like 7 boxes or something crazy like that. I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna need, let's go. And you know, you guys have seen how long my hair is. The first time, I comfortably used 4 boxes. I think we just had a tiny bit left, and I really could have applied all of that on there too. So 4 boxes the first time. The second time, I think I had 2 to 3 or whatever left, and I was running out. I was really having to scramble to really try to smooth as much of it through as possible. So I'd say buy as many as you can get, anywhere from 4 to 8 if your hair is about my length, maybe a little less if it's shorter, maybe more if it's longer, because anything you have left over you can always use for a touch-up later, or you can just return it if you don't need it. But better that than to run out during the process. So yeah, so I mean, basically it was a very simple process for me. If you don't have someone helping you, make sure you use a mirror so you can get to the back and have smooth and even application. Part your hair into sections and take your time, okay? And it'll go smoothly. It's just an experiment, you know? But if you do not feel comfortable in any way, make sure you go to a salon or go to a licensed professional. Like I said, I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, and this is something that I chose to do, and it worked well for me, but I can't guarantee the same results for you. But I just wanted to share my process with you and give you more details about how this all worked for me. So, you know, I will make sure to put a little bit more information in the description box, maybe list these tips in case you forget. And just a reminder that I got all this from Sally's, and I'd say for everything total, I think I paid about 50 bucks. So it's 50 bucks for the bowl, the brush, the measuring cup, both the developers, all the color, the gloves, you know, all of that. I paid 50 bucks. Stop. Leave it. I didn't hit him, I just clapped. Don't bark at children. Anyway, so yes, but that is it. If you have any questions for me, please post them in the comment box below, and I will definitely answer them as soon as I can. And you know, if you color your hair, just definitely let me know. You know, feel free to send me a picture, do whatever you feel comfortable with. And you guys have a wonderful day.